Greetings, folks, and welcome to the Walpus Station Wagon Town Hall of November 2016. And right now it is currently 3:05 p.m. And we're going to have some topics today. So, the first topic here on this list is the anti-grudge policy. So, do you have a grudge? Well, don't. Drop it immediately. I think Spaz can explain more. Spaz?
Okay, the anti-grudge policy, originally instated in the beginning of 2014 to curb certain members from engaging in certain grudges. Well, long story short, we had a problematic member who was trying to get people on his side for an anti-Walpus community revolution. But when we enforced the policy, people told him, hey, knock it off, keep the grudge to yourself, and it eventually stopped him. Since then, the anti-grudge policy has basically been the backbone of getting people to not act like assholes. The anti-grudge policy is really an anti-asshole policy. It's our rule of saying, hey, if you have a problem with someone, bring it up to them. If not, get a mediator, get a middleman, just find a way to sort things out. Now, the anti-grudge policy applies to everyone, period. So, let's say that you find out there's a guy named Sour Patch Productions who says that, let's see, can I get a volunteer?
Yo.
Okay.
I'm in.
Let's say Sour Patch Productions is going around saying, I have a problem with unknown nobody. He's a selfish, narcissistic jerk who's paranoid about everyone, and he has a secret army of people out to get me. And every time I complain to people, he sends, like, transcripts back to the mods. How would you respond? A, I don't want to talk about it or leave me out of this. B, ooh, tell me more. Or C, that nobody sounds like a dick. I'm with this fight all the way.
A.
Out of morbid curiosity, I'm going to go with B.
Well, the correct answer is A, because going into with your curiosity just promotes people talking behind other people's back. Because, like, let's say I was talking behind Choon's back. I doubt he would like that.
If it was about me, yeah. I prefer to have things told to be straight.
Most people here have the policy of tell it straight to my face. And, yeah, you see this everywhere. So, I would go with A, personally.
I don't have an answer to that.
Alternatively, let's say that Sour Patch Production was banned from the group. Now somebody, like, who's a really respected member that we could use for an example?
I don't know.
Nora?
How about Choon?
Or June.
Yeah,
Okay.
June. Go ahead.
And Choon says, all right, now that Sour Patch Productions has been banned from the group, I say we troll the hell out of him and, like, leave a bunch of spam on his page. What would you do?
Please don't do that.
Would you A, be like, hell yeah, let's, like, spam his inbox with porn? B, I won't, but you certainly can. Or C, no thanks, leave me out of this.
C.
I'm still
C.
on
Clearly.
I'm sorry, but
Fans
C.
with inbox with porn?
The answer is
Hold on,
C.
wait. What did...
Please don't ever take my advice if I'm like that, ever.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, like,
that is
wait.
dumb.
What's going on?
I'm curious. What did you say, Victor?
I said I'm picking B because I'm trying to find the most neutral answer ever.
B's not neutral. You're with B, you're encouraging someone to attack somebody else, and that's basically enabling them.
Like I said,
Yeah. So pretty much what's equivalent to both the right and neutral answer is C.
Okay, now let's... oh, sorry, go on.
I was about to say something about, people sending out people to attack people. Yeah, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. All right, you can go on, Smash. I'm sorry.
Okay, so, actually, hold on a second.
Funny thing is, I was actually told to do that IRL. Like, it was a supposed job that the school gave me. Well, it was like after I graduated from school, and like they gave me some type of job lead, and I was expecting an interview when I showed up, but when I showed up, they told me, "Hey, you're good at hacking, right? Why don't you go ahead and spam this guy's email address with porn? This guy wronged me," and this happened to me in real life.
Why?
What?
Because pettiness.
It's weird though. I went over there expecting a proper job interview for a proper job, but no. All I got was the boss telling me to basically try to hack into the competitor's website and spam them with porn.
Why?
Because essentially that other guy that he wanted wronged him somehow. Like this is basically the same situation we see here all the time.
No, that's not even proportionate even, because if it's just one wrong, if it's just like a small wrong or something, why would you even think of completely damaging someone's reputation?
Basically he wanted to get back at them because the guy had a grudge against them.
That's still silly.
It's still silly, but guess what? It happened to me in real life.
And that just makes it even sillier.
Nonetheless, so after 3 days, I left that place, though the guy fired me.
Right?
Real life, everyone. It's, you know what they say, truth is stranger than fiction.
So, go on, Spaz.
Okay, and lastly, let's say, let's pick another random member.
Me!
Ultima?
Great.
Okay, let's say Ultima has a problem with HTF. And he says, HTF is like totally has a bias against me, and like he's trying to get me banned from the station wagon, and we need to start a revolution to overthrow him. And I have all this proof
True story.
in a Dropbox to overthrow HTF and show how he's crazy.
I think we know exactly what you're talking about.
Remember, this isn't the only time this has happened. This, like, people, like, it seems like whenever people, like, break the rules and an admin tells them to stop, they often say, oh, an admin has a bias against me. But no, as we've seen, it doesn't matter if you're harassing a regular member, you're harassing a band member, or you're harassing a mod. And it doesn't matter if the person doing it is a mod or a regular member. It's people don't like people who harass people. So again, in the case of if Ultima were to be like, oh, HTF is after me, HTF is this and that and the other, would you A, be like, yeah, let's fight the revolution? Would you B, be like, leave me out of this, let me just look for the facts on my own? Or C, be like, nah, but I can tell you someone who can help you fight HTF. Which would you choose?
I just have no part of this.
I'd actually say B, look up the facts to see if they're a liar, or if they're a liar, then you don't trust them.
But if they are telling the truth, even then, I'd still
say
stay out of it. Because natural law, in the end, bites them in the ass. Because you can't hide any conspiracies. Like,
yeah,
as many of you know... Go on.
What's the name of the thing again, where any conspiracy often gets revealed? There's a certain term for it.
I don't know, but...
Declassified?
No.
Debunked?
No, it's not debunked. I'll look it up. I'll tell you in a bit.
Nonetheless, though, the point is, just don't get involved. If it's not your situation, don't get involved. I mean, what I mean here is, if you get involved, it's taking away from time that you could be doing for other things that could be useful for your life, or doing something fun. But no, now here you are trying to fight against me, and it's all like, okay, I get it. You don't like me. Why am I the focus of your life? Like, do something good. Like, if you really hate me, instead of trying to fight me, go do your own thing and see if you can do it better or something.
I found it out. It's the Streisand effect. The more it's a phenomenon where something ends up resulting in it being more.
Effect wrong. It's whenever you try to it's whenever you try to get rid of any criticism or silence it, it causes a backlash, which causes more criticism.
I was talking about the Streisand effect, where when you tried to hide or remove or censor
I know,
something,
that's what I'm saying. That's not really what hiding a conspiracy is.
Yes, the more you tried to hide something to make sure it didn't happen, the more people are going to find out about said conspiracy.
Actually, I'd say another way to look at it is like this. Many of you are aware of the recent situation with fan fiction writer and sketch contributor Algae Nymph, who, many of you have, okay, if you don't know the situation, then you probably didn't receive the private messages. But if you don't know, basically he had been messaging several people saying that he has a grudge against me, and he says that ever since I came back from the Unleash the Power Within Tony Robbins seminar, I am a Tony Robbins worshipping zealot who wants to convert the Walfus Station Wagon into a Tony Robbins cult, and that I will destroy anyone who disagrees with me with my secret army of spies.
He does know that's not a cult.
Army of spies.
When in reality, he's just breaking the rules, and people are passing around transcripts, and as a mod, not the mod, they eventually come back to either the other mods or back to me. And funny enough, what really blew the lid off this whole thing was when Algae tried messaging HDF, who say, hey, HDF, say hi in the mic, from my mic.
Hi.
And as you can hear from the echo, Algae was telling him all the stuff that he could disprove. Like, I let HDF read my messages, I showed HDF my library, and all of his arguments went out the window. But then everyone else slowly started figuring out, and so what do you think the options are? Would you A, be go on the offensive and say, Algae Nymph, you're wrong, you're you need to be nice to Spaz? Or B, be like, nah, I don't want to partake in it, just write your fanfics, which is the correct option.
Oh, that's like two options.
Hint, it's the second one.
I know it's the second one.
How many of these books is Tony Robbins?
Who is Tony Robbins? I never heard of him.
Okay, Tony Robbins is basically like a self-help guy, and the thing is, a lot of people some people just don't believe in self-help. They just don't like it. But if you can either be neutral to it, or you could be like, how dare anyone be self-helpish? I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that self-help gets driven into the ground.
I think my biggest peeve with all this is that he thinks Tony Robbins is a cult.
Tony Robbins isn't a cult.
That's my point.
Well, okay, yeah, but I'm trying to add to your point. Basically, Tony Robbins is a book. That's it.
He mainly likes audiobooks, but yeah, he's just a guy who, the easiest way to sum him up is he takes cognitive theory and behavioral economics and digests it down to something that anyone can digest.
Okay. Thanks for the info.
Oh, and I should mention, the Spastic Journal that he wrote about Algae Nymph, that is not official Wagon things. That's all on Spastic. Don't blame us for that. That's all on Spastic.
Yeah, that is my official don't screw around with Algae Nymph. Here's an explanation of why he thinks the way he does. And the general explanation is he got this idea in his head, and then he went out to people saying, oh, Spastic's doing this. But naturally, I get the transcripts back, everyone else gets the transcripts back, and they start avoiding Algae Nymph. Now people are uncomfortable around Algae Nymph, then he starts finding more people to help fight the revolution against Spastic. But then his efforts backfire, and then I get even more transcripts, and then people get even more reason to stay away from him. And now it's gotten to the point where he now has an entire Dropbox with basically a NaNoWriMo length novel about Spastic's descent into madness. And naturally, when he posted that in the U-Haul and places, people had a rather negative reaction to it, understandably. So I had to explain, look, if you were in his shoes, you would believe that too. If you didn't have any information and you lived your whole life thinking this guy is out to get you, then of course you would think that.
Now, I would I'd like to add something right now. Okay, so I know all of you see Spastic as maybe somebody who's great in the Walfus community and all that stuff, but think about it though. Just because he might be like the community punching bag to say, "Oh, Spastic's doing this, Spastic's doing that, Spastic's doing that." Well, even though he gets the most requests, think about it for a moment. What happens if that would have happened to me, or Chun, or Yoko, or Sky? Like, if somebody was going after, like, Sky, for example, like, this huge rampage against him, well, you would have to take action. And, I mean, we were trying to take action, but it's hard sometimes. But we have this anti-grudge policy, so that's why it's in place.
You know,
Yeah, can I add to that real quick before you go, Sky? Yeah, that is true. It can that's what I keep in mind. It can happen to anyone here, and also something I'd also like to. Two other things I'd like to add is it's not just one person doing it. Like, I guess the right way to say it's best is like there's people with similar mindsets, even if they're different people.
Yes, definitely. Like I call them the Sour Patch Productions because I did a little parable about how people end up like that. Like I remember a long time ago, WBL blamed Scarlet Devil Vocaloid, one of like the shyest, like quietest people in the group, of being the one with the giant army.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh god, that was a headache.
Basically, the whole giant army fallacy happens to be who have the most influence. So right now, Spastic has the most influence right now. But let's say that Spastic didn't have the most influence. Let's say he just did his own thing and he's not here anymore. Anyone else who has the most influence would get that thing. And I mean, let's see here. That could just happen to anyone with like a lot of friends too. Like say like you have the most likable person in the wagon, and then someone's all like, "You're the one who's causing my problems because everyone likes you and nobody likes me." And it's just, well, it can happen to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It could happen to Wave. It could happen to Oku. It could happen to Nanashi. It could happen to.
And I mean,
Heck, it happened to Oku today. Last I checked.
It can even happen to me.
It could. Like, it could. But
that guy got kicked out.
Yeah.
No, he
I
left.
probably mentioned right now that, well, yeah, but we were already on the verge of kicking him out already until he was all like, and I will quote him on this. He said, "Fuck you and go fuck yourself, you bitch ass." That's what he told me. And then he left.
Wow.
And he's not coming back in.
Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck happened? What?
It's a lot. I don't know if it's a long story, but it apparently happened today. But
It happened today, immediately today.
This was his last message to me.
That's
Oh, the Chinese guy.
Yeah, and this guy has had a history with me. He doesn't like me. Like,
What the hell is this?
Apparently, he doesn't like me either, and I don't even know why.
He just doesn't like people who disagree with him. But now that's the thing, though. That's what a person's like when they don't like people disagreeing with them. They're like, "Fuck everyone, fuck this, fuck that, fuck." But I don't disagree with everyone.
right.
And nor does Mr. Spastic here.
I'm trying to like. I have a whole thing I want to talk about.
That was almost hilarious. Like
About-
watching him self-destruct earlier.
Yeah. The question, like, has he done this kind of stuff before? But
Yes.
not something like this.
Multiple times.
Yeah, that's to be
the first time I had like an experience with this guy, I'm not one of those SJW types, but I actually did feel a little uncomfortable about him having the Chinese title and the stereotypical Chinese guy in his avatar. I felt it was a little racist. And I went to him and I told him
bad about it.
Person, but this is the thing though. This wasn't me as an admin. This was me as myself going to him saying, "Hey, that thing just makes me feel a little uncomfortable. I feel it's racist, and I feel you should change it." And the guy's like, "It's not racist. Fuck you."
12-year-old alert.
Oh.
Well,
it's like
You can say that. I read those logs. You're dead. I think you're exaggerating.
Porygon, I'm paraphrasing.
That's
yes,
paraphrasing.
I am overreacting.
I remember
but because
cursing at
you
you.
overreacted too. Okay, look, you want the exact thing he said, and
Yes,
don't
quite
say anything else. I'm going to look for it right now. Give me a moment.
All right. I don't know.
Okay. I said, "Hey, your avatar name is a little racist. Like, not super ultra mega racist, but just a smidge on the racist side. Can you change it?" for the most part, I don't know. It just bothers me personally. Like, he's like, how is it a little racist? I mean, and I told him, just my opinion and stuff. He's like, stereotypical? The fuck you mean? And then I say, stereotypical Chinese dude from the looks of it. And then he yells at me, well, it isn't. He could have handled it a little differently. And I could have handled it a little bit differently, too, because I came off a little presumptuous, but at the same time, though, he could have explained how it wasn't racist, like in a polite way. Because I wasn't being rude, but then he turned rude. And if anyone wants to see the chat logs for actual evidence, I will post it.
Yeah, like that's also the thing I'd say. Like, even if you disagree, at least be polite about it.
I think
don't be a dick.
I've been noticing a trend almost actually, like, pretty much anywhere. Whenever there's disagreement, it's common for one of the people to try to, like, just try to denounce the other person. If you say, oh, I don't want to vote for this candidate, it's like, well, that means you're fucking sexist. Or maybe it's like, oh, I like this series better. Oh, you're fucking a white male.
Of course, you're gonna go.
It's just this reoccurring trend where whenever you disagree with someone, they can't deal with it respectfully. They just treat you as shit. And the problem is people are no longer capable of agreeing to disagree.
Meanwhile, my experiences with DSM are basically him trying to be relevant in the chat and failing miserably. I think I posted a message about that actually in the U-Haul. Trying to make funny jokes that are basically categorized as the random equals funny category. It's not funny at all. And that's basically my experience with the guy, besides just seeing what occurred today in general with Oku, basically. For those who are uninformed, what happened today in the U-Haul in terms of him is very simple. Every single time Oku posted like some sort of Onyu emoji or some other sort of message, he decided to react to that with a rage, gun, whatever emote that basically expresses anger. So that's basically the summary of what happened in the U-Haul today to cause him to eventually get... Well, first he got banned from emoji reacting, if I remember correctly. I think you did that, HDF, right?
Wait, what?
You got banned for emoji reacting first.
Yeah. I bet you they decided to just remove him straight from the whole emoji reaction thing because, I mean, come on, you keep posting gun to the person and they keep telling you stop.
Wow. Yeah. Then he was like, oh, I don't care. It doesn't even matter. And then eventually he got text muted and then eventually kicked. So that's basically a synopsis of what I
he left of his own accord.
He never.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
he never got text muted either. What happened was
actually he did get text muted. I text muted him before he left. That's why he left and told me what he said.
Okay, that makes sense now. Because basically what happened before he got text muted was there was a discussion in the U-Haul today, and he was not really adding to it. Like, it was actually a sort of minor, serious discussion, I'd say, and he was like doing actions like eating popcorn in the background, which is like, yeah, some people do that, but in a serious tension moment like this, that feels a little, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Childish?
Yes. Yeah, I'd say
all
both.
of the above.
Right. I'm kind of trying to say something about the whole grudge thing, but...
Go on, Sky.
Go ahead.
Alright, so... wait, are we done with our topic with the Black Moon guy?
Go on, Sky.
We can come back to it later if we need to. Just go on.
Alright, so... This is more me expressing about, the grudge policy, or just like, grudges in general, but... I'm gonna speak this realistically. Grudges aren't gonna happen no matter what. It's something that happens, and while it kind of sucks for grudges to happen, I'm trying to put it into words. So sorry if it sounds unorganized, but just say like grudges are gonna happen no matter what. Because like, let's say that Bleach has a grudge against me or something like that, right? He's the first example I thought about. If he has a
story.
It's because I know it's not true, but go on with the
Go on.
example.
But let's say he has a grudge against me, right?
Your
For whatever
points.
reason. And the thing is that, well, grudges could happen, and some people might have grudges and stuff. But what I would always say about, an anti-grudge policy in this group is to not bring your grudges in public.
Yes.
Or try to be better than your own grudges and not get the best of you. Because I'll say for one thing, I definitely had grudges against some people before in the past, but I try to not, affect the wagon with that whole grudge. Because starting to let it affect you, it'll eventually affect the group as a whole. And what I'm basically saying is that naturally we will have grudges against somebody, but be better than that grudge.
Exactly. Just
May
it's a
I
grudge between
comment?
you and one person. Oh, Ultimate, you wanted to say something? Okay.
You finish first. You're probably going to be faster.
Okay. So it's basically a grudge between you and one person. Keep it that way. It's okay to have grudges. Everyone has them. Even I have a few outside of here. But I'm not going to bring those grudges here. I'm not going to act on them or anything. They're just there. Yeah, basically Yoka summarized it well. Just keep it to yourself. It's a personal attack if you mention it in public.
I guess to really go with that mindset, keep the grudges out of here, because as soon as we catch you having a grudge against somebody, like in terms of like you're actually publicly going after this person, you're saying things behind other people's back, we get reports about it, yada yada yada. As soon as we get reports about it, we're on to you, and it's just drop the grudge or just get it out of here. And the thing is, we try to work with you to get rid of the grudge if it's really public and we really want to get rid of it. But at the end of the day, though, if you refuse to listen, we're just going to go ahead and hit the hammer. Right?
And it's if you bring it in public. If it's kept between you and the person, then that's honestly fine as long as you keep it between you and that person.
Yeah. And, well...
Sorry. Do you mind if I go for real quick?
Fine.
I mean, of course, having a grudge is, toxic. It's not a good thing to really have.
Destructive mindset.
But, yeah, and as I kind of said earlier, and if I have not prefaced this enough, realistically speaking, we at least had one grudge against one person in our lives. At least one. And as I just said, try to be better than that. Like, don't affect how you interact with people. Say like, oh, I hate this person. No, just say, just don't try to bring it up unless if you. I'm not saying you should talk about your grudge, but if you have a problem with someone, try to talk with somebody, but don't, be all bashful or whatever on that guy, right?
You mean don't bash them? Bashful is a different thing.
Yeah, bashful is a different thing, but I'm trying to make a point here that, but I think the point is that just better, even if you have a grudge, because if you recognize you have a grudge, then that's one thing. That's one step of learning not to. I don't know. Fuck. I think you guys get my point, right?
I get it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go
ahead, Ultima.
All right. So with the grudge thing, I do sort of grudge policy have one concern. Like my thoughts on the no grudge policy is it should sort of be more like based on action, because let's face it, some people are going to dislike other people. Maybe they might not express it to everyone. Maybe they just keep it among friends without actively trying to do anything like like maybe they're just annoyed by someone and don't really want to be their friends. I can understand like you not wanting to be friends with someone. I'd say that the point where you've crossed a line is when you're acting upon it, like saying, hey, go bother this person, or sending harassment, or just generally blatantly being a dick to them in the form of like just being, I don't know, just like, I don't know, actually blatantly bullying them. Like, I don't know, I think my issue is like, when is it punishable? Like, is someone just disliking someone else because they're annoying and probably like avoiding talking to them? Would that be punishable, or would that just be something that doesn't get something that's acceptable because, hey, not everyone gets along? And well, I know that sending harassment or like sending people or like nasty messages, that would actually be action and punish. That would be action, and I would probably see that as very much punishable. Thoughts?
I think I get what you're trying to say, so I'm going to... Yeah, I think I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. Is that when is the line drawn?
I think the line is drawn when we actually start hearing like you actively seeking out people to tell like who you have a grudge against.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I think it's fine if you, I don't want to say vent, but I'd say talk to people about it. But if it's like, every damn time, I guess, and if it's just, I don't know how to put this into words.
Mind if I make up a hypothetical example?
Go right ahead.
Let's say I decide to like just have a little bit of a one-on-one with I don't know, Dr. Nubcake, and like let's say I don't like
You wanna fucking go?
let's say Sky's being annoying to me, or I think he's a piece of shit, and I just like say, hey, guy's fucking annoying, he's been saying this, I don't like it, this fucking bullshit, he keeps on doing this, it's getting on my nerves. I don't know, like, let's just say I'm just like talking, hey, this guy just annoys me. Like, would that be punishable, or would it be punishable if I was like, yo, Doc, go fucking send him like hate messages, or go spam his inbox?
I think that's punishable.
Oh,
I think that's punishable.
I'd say that
No,
that's
it's
just
not.
a more.
Hello there.
I'd say it's just more a single instance. In that case, if we get a single instance, then it's like it's an isolated incident. If like if they talked it out, then they could probably resolve stuff. Or if they kept it to themselves, they could like be they could agree to disagree. It's only when like there's one conversation, then another conversation, and then we get conversations back from other people and third parties, and like everyone watching it is like, hey, this guy is blatantly against Sky. Then you would start breaking the anti-grudge policy. Like once it starts bleeding out to a point where we have to like non-party members are trying to find a way to contain it, then it's starting to become a problem. Because
you usually when we're going after you for a grudge, it's not because they are secretly trying to coerce everyone else to get rid of them. It's or not because the person reporting it isn't like secretly trying to coerce everyone to do it. It's just, it's just like that's just the way things are.
It's just you're being an asshole. Stop being an asshole.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's not because we're against you. It's because we're against your grudge.
Well, let me.
So don't be like, this guy is orchestrating everyone to get rid of me. That's a conspiracy.
I thought of another thing about the grudge thing. Is that when does like a grudge become? I guess a good way for me to say it is that when does a grudge become petty, like pettiness?
Well, it becomes petty when it's over something stupid, like say, you took my idea. And in terms of you took my idea is, I had like a office thing, and then they did that exact same thing, but like you two didn't know each other at all. You didn't know what they're doing. But then they're like, you took my idea. How dare you? then that's petty.
Oh God.
There's also the fact that like when it comes to the point where they do anything and it's considered passive aggressive or harassment. Like example with the algae nymph thing, they posted on Toho Reddit asking for a fanfiction help, and I posted because it's Toho Reddit and I'm the fanfic guy. Did they respond by saying, "Oh, thanks, I'm glad we finally agree on something. It's a good we both like Toho fanfiction"? Or did he message several people saying that I was harassing them and stalking them, even though they posted on Toho Reddit?
Well, I saw that post, and I saw how it was, how it could be misconstrued due to how it was worded, but that was just it. The thing is that that's besides the point that Alginov has a grudge, but it's just, words just have that power. But
like, you want me to bring up an example of a petty grudge against somebody?
Go ahead.
Like, say, I'm just trying to think of a scenario. Okay, let's say I have a grudge against someone. Like, you want to go into like a building, right? You want to go into something, but then the person, like, you know, the guy that's like guarding the door or whatever says like, you can't go in, you're not allowed, or like you can't go in, you're not qualified or whatever, right? Would that mean you should have a grudge against that guy? No, because A, you don't really know them, and B, just if you're having a grudge against someone just because of that, and it just seems really petty. Is that a good example or no?
It's kind of like if it's a grudge if it's taken personally.
Yes.
Okay, here's the situation. Let's say Dr. Nubcake really doesn't like, let's say Dr. Nubcake is pissed off at Leaf because apparently they were getting into discussion and extended discussions, and they had a differing opinion, and Leaf was like, "Yeah, you're a fucking racist." And there's been numerous things where Leaf has done things that have just angered Doc, and Doc and Doc doesn't like Leaf. And let's say they're saying, "Hey, this person, Leaf's done this to me. They've done that. They've done this. I'm sort of annoyed." Like, would that be like just talking like, "Hey, I really don't like this person. They've called me a racist. They fucking constantly do this one thing that annoys me." Would that sort of be a grudge, or would that technically be justified because Leaf's been doing things that have like actually affected Doc and sort of actually pissed him off, just acted sort of like a belligerent dick?
I don't know about that.
What if I bring up a thing like something that I thought? Permission to bring something that I thought of on this subject.
Sure, go ahead, speak.
Alright. We all heard about us having grudges. We know we got grudges, and we all know that we've seen that people break the anti-grudge policy due to, example, I have a grudge against, let's say, Minori. Let's say I have a grudge against Minori, and then if I make a comic about it, I know that it's going to break the rules. But what if you approach literally everyone, and it's basically you act like you're approaching everyone, but instead of trying to ask people to harass you, just literally ask everyone to help you do, fix the grudge and stuff like that. Like if you have a grudge against Roy or or in worst case scenario, Chun, if I have a grudge against Chun, what if I just, spam people with just asking people about, hey, can you please message Chun that, hey, I want to talk to you. I want to fix this grudge. I want to, make things right and stuff like that. Will it break the anti-grudge policy, or will it try to stop the grudge?
I'd say that's kind of a gray area, but in my experience, that rarely ever works. I'd say maybe contact an admin first because they can make as good mediators, but in that, I'd say find an admin to be a mediator, but if you can't get one, I'd say give them space. And if they go on the offensive, then you'd be safe. I have a saying that says, "Whoever throws the last punch loses." If they have a grudge but you don't, they'll eventually keep fighting until they lose.
The same could be said for the reverse. If you have a grudge but they don't,
if they just don't want to talk to you, just don't try to force them to talk to you.
Exactly.
That was actually something I was gonna come. Would the admin's attempt to deal with a grudge be to try to make the two of you buddy-buddy, or would they just try to make sure you two don't interact, or make sure that your interactions are to a minimum and
basically
don't explode?
Make sure that you don't explode in the public chat with your grudges. Not sure what's the right word here, but basically just work with you to make sure, okay, you don't have to be friends. We understand that we're not forcing you to be friends, but please, for the love of God, keep this out of the main chat.
Yeah, you don't have to be buddy-buddy, but you still have to share the same space.
Is there punishment if you try to avoid being in the same space, or would that be acceptable because you're trying to avoid something?
I don't see a problem with that, honestly, but... I don't know. It's kind of hard
don't
to
need
say.
to punish someone for just
It's
avoiding
not.
something.
It's not punishable. It might raise a few eyebrows and question it for those that don't know what's going on, but it's not punishable.
So, grudges. My point is, don't have them. That kind of throws a few things out, but basically, though, don't have them in the wagon. You know what I mean?
Or at least in the public chat, don't let it affect the public chat, I guess you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, and it's another thing is that, I personally recommend just drop all of your grudges you have, but that's me personally. That's not.
Oh, of course. As I said, I'm not saying it's a good thing to have grudges, and really, I highly encourage someone to, avoid having a grudge against someone, but, grudge is going to happen no matter what.
I'd say if you do not like someone, do not act upon it, unless they broke a rule in which, if they actually did something bad, if they broke a rule that's very bad, report it as per usual. But I'd say, if someone's just, annoying, if you just find someone annoying, do not try to be fuck you, you annoying son of a bitch. Just, keep it to your, I suppose, just be quiet and try to avoid talking to the person.
Right.
Yeah, but at this point, we're basically repeating ourselves. So,
yeah, we
anyone
are.
else have anything new to add?
No.
Anyone?
I don't.
Nope.
I think I'll try to find something.
Well, I'm not. If you had something on mind right now, bring it up. But if you don't have anything on mind, then don't worry about it.
Honestly, I think we're done with the topic, but...
We are basically done with the topic. I'm just making sure there's nothing else that needs to be covered.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. So, let me go back to this thing. Oh, why am I on Shadow Kitsune's page? Give me a moment.
Okay, wait.
It's all connected.
Oh yeah, Shiki brought up something. What if a user is harassing someone and they take it up with staff? Does that count as a grudge?
Wouldn't it depend on what they're going to the staff for?
Yeah.
I mean, it like there's multiple, like if they're going to a staff person and it's like the person who is going to a mod being upset about something that seemingly isn't a big deal, if they just keep going to mods until they find someone that agrees with them, then that's kind of a problem. Although it is to be determined whether or not the actual thing they're going to the mods about is an actual problem.
Yeah, as Andrew said, depends on the context.
But in some cases where if you're just going to mods until you find someone who agrees with you about someone, then we might look at what you and that person are doing a little bit more closely.
Yeah. If the user was stalking them, insulting in rooms, or just being horrible in general nonstop. I don't know. I guess that's it with the topic again? I don't know. Like, no one's saying anything.
It seems like it.
HTF.
Just a quick explanation. I have ADHD, and if I notice something that looks really cool, I lock onto it, even if it's off topic. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. All right. Well, I think that's about it with this topic because no one's really saying anything about it.
Yeah. So
and I think we said enough anyway, so we could just move on.
Okay. So the next topic is anything we haven't mentioned in this list. So I'm basically out of the list. So there was something that was brought up in the U-Haul earlier, and it was all like basically it was like some thing about mini rooms and whether or not they should be tied to text chats tied to voice chats, or should there be like a separate voice chat, or should there be like a general too? Should we rename U-Haul to general? What's your thing?
What do you mean? Like
basically, the way that text chats versus voice chats work, there's a disconnect going on around here. And well, my opinion is looking at the /r/Toho group, they have a separate like voice text chat, so that way you could like paste something there that's going to do with the voice chats that's going on right now. Kind of like how we're having like this town hall chat for the town hall voice chat. So, but then some people are like, should we make like a U-Haul 2 or something? Should we make more mini rooms? Should we what?
I don't think we should have more mini rooms.
They've been rarely used in general.
Do you mean text channels or voice channels?
We're meaning the disconnect between voice channels and text channels. So we need more mini room text channels. Do we need more mini room voice channels? Should we connect them together and not allow anyone else who's not in the mini room voice chat to not use the mini rooms?
And
should we leave the mini rooms alone?
And you
okay.
Well, it's because this was brought up earlier, and it's really confusing to me. So that's what I'm asking you guys. What do you think about the status of the voice chats versus text chats?
I honestly think it's fine. In all honesty, like
I also going to say that it's perfectly fine as is.
Same.
I'd say like if the issue is disconnect, I'd say only like I could only like imagine two. I could only really imagine like one, maybe two places needing like an actual binding between voice and text, outside of like the administrative rooms, and that would be probably be town hall and possibly main room.
All right then. Well, from what I can,
Possibly,
let me
I'm
make
not
a vote in the chat real quick, and I'm gonna ask you guys to react with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Okay. Thumbs up meaning you're okay with it. Thumbs down means you're bad with it. All right. Okay. Let me ask real quick.
So.
That's a different chat.
And what if we're saying that we're neutral? I mean,
then you don't
Doesn't
do anything.
matter. We need a thumbs
Yeah,
up
that
or a
response.
thumbs down.
Okay, here's the thing. If you're neutral, don't really put a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And
You're either okay with it or you're not. That's it.
Yeah, it's a yes or no question. Yes or no question. There's no middle ground.
There's only black and white, and there's no gray.
That's racist.
Shut up, Leaf. You're racist.
Hey, one person
I'm
who
like, I
said
can't be
they
racist.
can't imagine Leaf saying it. There you go.
There's only Shiram.
But yeah, we don't really need more.
There we go. I asked it, thumb it up or thumb it down.
Someone, I'm gonna wait until someone puts thumbs up. There we go. Disappears. Well, I think we know who's the winner.
Then suddenly, all other 60 members of the Wolfus Station wagon, as well as the 4 online people and the 9 admins present, vote thumbs down. Oh, never mind.
Oh, hold on. You gotta improve this.
Yeah.
Reactions because I can't see
Quick,
that.
18 people vote down.
I can't even vote up or down. Because
Okay. Okay, man.
What is that one?
Okay, man.
Hold on.
It's fine.
Just FYI, the
This is fine.
Guys,
what?
guys? Stop spamming that. Come on.
Well, okay, I'm just gonna say anything that's not a thumbs up doesn't
Or
count.
a thumbs down doesn't
Anything
count.
that's not a thumbs up or thumbs down doesn't count.
I don't have a thumbs down.
I don't have any thumbs.
Tengu face, okay. Guys, please.
Alright. This is just spamming it.
Yo, you guys.
That's not okay.
Guys, calm down.
Okay. I'll have to admit,
Alright,
that's hilarious, but
We've had our fun.
not
Let's move on.
required. But okay, so that's that. The voice chats are fine. But I have one more question that I want you guys to thumb up or thumb down to. So give me one moment.
All right.
Besides, I can to do that too. Cricket.
Give me a second.
Patience, young grasshopper.
Where's
that bug spray?
By the time you're done, it's gonna be high noon all over again.
Oh, a little fairy boy. I think I'll name you Grasshopper.
You should have said patience, young cricket.
One person thumbed up.
To this question, I can't really use
Just remember, there's also a thumbs down. If you disagree, thumb it down.
I can't. Unless I just type. Oh, I can use emoticons, but I can't react. But
How about
mobile is weird.
Should there be one hashtag voice channel for all of them? That seems a little weird.
No, just general. Just general.
Just general.
Just general? Okay, that's fine.
no, for just U-Haul or general.
I'm kind of neutral about this, so I'm not gonna vote.
I have to say, from seeing a voice channel or hashtag voice text channel in another server, it doesn't usually work out just because of the disconnect that is very that always happens between text channels and voice channels.
I've actually got one. I've actually in a group which does have a separate voice channel for the separate text channel for voice, and it works.
Give me a moment while I go and try to explain. Is said in this chat? Oh, okay. So basically, it's a hashtag voice channel for whatever the main discussion is going on. That's going on with.
What
the
if there are
voice.
multiple main discussions? Does that not happen often enough?
It doesn't happen often enough.
Okay, I can see that.
But usually, it's like whenever there's like a huge group of people in one friggin' voice chat. Should we?
Okay.
I mean,
I'm thinking no. It's kind of
A bunch of people are like in the U-Haul voice chat, but then sometimes there's a bunch of people in mini room 1 or mini room 2.
It's still something that we could test for a month and say, and then say like the next month and say, is it all right? If so,
Yeah.
if not, then get rid of it.
It's a test.
I'm going to use it.
Alright then, so I'm going to make a hashtag voice channel. I'm going to put it at the way bottom so that it's closer to the voice chats. Okay?
Maybe just a bit over some other channels that aren't used.
Yeah, I think it should be between mini Witch 3 text chat
No,
and
that
main one.
pushes other rooms down, such as gaming, meme land, improv rooms. Those rooms
Are
are
you
typically
sure?
used. Maybe it could go somewhere. Well, Waffles Creations, Waffles.
Well,
Maybe it
what
could
I'm
go right above projects, perhaps.
What I was saying is that we put it below the study hall, so that way when you're like in the voice channels, it's like
Yeah,
right
they're,
there
like, right
without
next to
having
each other.
Yeah,
scroll
okay,
around.
that would work great.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So now, what do you want it to be named?
Just
Voice.
Why not just voice? Yeah.
Yeah.
Voice chat.
What does this idea want to be?
Like what's supposed to be going on.
Voice hall.
Basically, imagine a text channel that basically what you're supposed to post in there is whatever's relevant to voice chat or
All right, then
in the U-Haul
so you
channel.
have now a hashtag voice. How does that make you feel?
Also, Sin, or I think your name's Sin. I don't remember, but
Damn it, Chun!
The noise.
Why not
I'm
just-
first.
Why not
Oh.
just walk into the DMs?
Yeah, like
All right,
I'm,
now I'm gonna have to go and describe it in the description. So give me a moment.
yeah, I'm still very confused with this voice channel.
just make like
Basically, whenever there is like a huge number of people in a certain voice channel, that is the current voice chat. So there's a bunch of people in the mini room 1, let's say.
For one,
Those
are
are
you
the
in
sort of-
voice? Are you currently in voice chat? No, then don't use it. If you
Yeah.
are, then there is a need to post a link or show some picture as relevant to what's happening in a voice chat with a lot of people. That's where you put it. Pretty simple.
Yeah, and basically another thing that this actually helps with for people who just can't really type, can't really voice because like they're in here but their mic is muted, and sometimes they get drowned out in whatever conversation is going on in the U-Haul, so they can just look here and so that they can type without having to do that. Now, I mean, sure, I get some people are going to be in game. At that point, that's just a disconnect between you and in game. That there's not really going to be an issue with it.
Then here's a question. Okay, I just think of a question. Why was it there's like a chat going on in like a main room and mini room 3 or whatever? Can that be used for that, or is it just for
This
them?
is not a mini room. This is for people who are in voice chats only.
Oh.
I don't think you understand. There are mini room voice channels too. I think the point was, what if there are 5 people in the U-Haul, 3 in mini room 1, and 3 in mini room 2? Who can use?
And then they
who
all
can
use
use
the
voice
and then
chat?
they all
Who-
use the voice text channel and.
Who can use it? All 3 of them?
At that point, I mean, like, at that point, that there can be a loose association between different things. So, but the way I feel about it is, U-Haul applies to U-Haul, mini room 1 applies to mini room 1, mini room 2 applies to mini room 2, and mini room 3 applies to mini room 3. In that specific
Maybe.
case, when everyone's using all the voice channels.
is that there's a disconnect between the text channel version and the voice channel version of those rooms. And the thing is that completely different conversations can be going on in like the language free voice channel,
Always happens.
and the free text channel.
Yeah,
And
that always
just
happens, but how often is there like just 3 separate like voice chats going on all at once?
Not often, I don't think, but this
Almost
is why we
never.
should try it.
Yeah, we're going to try it. This is like, if I add this, it's not going to cause a major blow up of the wagon, or it's not going to cause me to delete certain channels. This is just going to.
Oh, not again, HTF.
HTF's gonna blow up servers.
HTF!
There's just not one of those-
Thanks to you adding this text channel, you've now placed a bomb on this whole thing. Congratulations, we're all dead.
Killer Queen already touched the text channel.
See, Spaztique, you're not the only one who gets blamed for everything.
HTF is the reason everything goes wrong technologically.
Damn it, HF! Why? Why am I a robot now?
Because Sky, why not?
At least you're a robot. You could have been dead.
I'm sorry, what?
Could have been better.
I still don't actually understand what the problem is. This is so confusing. I can't.
Have you
pick
ever
up,
been?
like,
Have
what
you
we're
ever been in a
fixing.
voice chat and you're like, "Hey, I want to show you guys this link. Where do you put it? Do you send it each person individually? There might be 10 people. Do you put it in U-Haul where an entirely unrelated discussion is happening? You're like, why did you post this?
That's exactly.
Who are you? Who are you? We're talking about something else. Do you see my? You see the problem?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
That's
could.
the problem that this is attempting to solve.
There you go. Now, we're going to see if this works. We're going to give a trial period until the next town hall, and that's going to be the next one of the next subjects in the next town hall. So I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm pointing that out because a lot of times these town halls only have like one thing to talk about.
Yep.
And it's usually because something big happened.
Right.
Yeah, Delta, you need to remake that.
Because
Oh, that GIF. It was still funny and it was appropriate for it.
Yeah, I know.
That
But
will
anyway,
never die.
I'm making sure it won't.
Please go to push
now
the
that this
top.
hashtag voice channel thing has been settled, what do you guys want to talk about next?
Before we get into another topic we haven't mentioned, one little thing. We're gonna have to talk about the Werewolf's Christmas.
That's
Well,
for projects
that'll
and
happen for projects
announcements.
and announcements.
Not at
I'm
this moment.
waiting for any other person with something they need to discuss, some pressing issue. Oh, I think I have a pressing issue, but go on. Like anyone else who has something, because this topic here is a little sketchy. But it's been something that's on my mind for a while now.
Alright.
I got nothing, so.
I have no topic to bring up.
No.
Nope.
I was convinced I had a topic to bring up. Maybe it was the whole voice chat thing.